So my goal today is to help you figure out why people don't come back. Every Sunday, we get people to receive Christ as their Lord and Savior. Some even join the church, and then they just completely disappear. They don't come back next Sunday. And we wonder what happened. They had a wonderful time at service. They were obviously touched by something in the service because they gave their life over. They may have joined, and then they're just gone. What happened? So I'm going to show you a couple slides that we use for our business clients, but I'm going to also come back and kind of direct in how it relates to ministry and changing lives. So this first slide is, in the sales world, is called a sales funnel. So what happens is customers somehow become aware that you exist. The second level is they expressed some sort of interest in what it is that you offer, your product, your service, or etc. Thirdly, they engage somehow, and then they take an action. So let's put this in context of more of real terms. So let's say this first level of awareness, you show up in their news feed on Facebook, or you're on Twitter, and all of a sudden this sponsored ad pops up in your timeline. Then we get down to the second level where they express some sort of interest in what you've got going on. They say, oh, that looks interesting. Let me click on their page and see what this is all about. They like what they see and they click follow on Twitter, or they click like on Facebook. That decision-making process, though, is where it gets really deep. This is where they're saying, okay, I see you. I like what you're talking about. Let me taste a little bit. So now I'm going to participate in some low risk, opportunity. I'm going to come to a free webinar, or I'm going to come to a free clinic that you're putting on, but it doesn't really cost me anything other than my time. So this action is where it gets really key. So this is where they found that you exist. They dug a little bit deeper into what you do. They've experienced some, opportunity with you, and then they pulled out their credit card. That's what happens in the real world of successful sales. Now, the goal of that successful sales funnel is that once people hit the bottom of the funnel, you put them back into the top of the funnel. So after I bought my car with you, Mr. Chevy or Mr. Ford, you're going to start sending me more information to follow you on Twitter, because now you want to keep me in this cycle. So when I come back in 4 years to buy another car, I'm already thinking about you. So let's put this then in the context of ministry. What happens there is you pop up in my news feed. I become aware that you exist. So this second level of interest is where I then go and I dig a little bit more deeper into what you have going on in your ministry. And I may like what I see. Thirdly, I go ahead and I attend service with a friend of mine, or I watch your service online, or etc. And then fourth, I join, or I get saved. That's the action phase. And the problem is, once I join your church, or I visit one Sunday, or and whatever happens, what happens on Monday? I go back to real life. So I visited you on Sunday. I had a really good time. I may have joined, because I just was, so excited, or I gave my life to God. I was really convicted by the message, or I was pulled closer, by the love in the room. And then Monday comes and there's nothing. Nobody emailed me. Nobody called me, or maybe they did on Monday, but then Tuesday came and nobody emailed or called, or nothing happened. So after I joined in, I took the action step. I got saved. There was nobody there to put me back in the top of the funnel. Remember, once I hit the bottom of the funnel, you got to put me right back in, because life is going to happen on Monday. The beautiful thing about this funnel is you can tell at every stage where it's broken, and if people successfully make it to the bottom, then it works. But the problem is, if I've found out that you exist, and then I've shown some interest by liking your page on Facebook or whatever, and then I don't go to the decision stage by enjoying a free webinar or coming to a free, event that you're having, something between the interest and the decision is broken, and we need to fix that. You went through the awareness stage, then you went to interest, but then whatever happened after interest, you didn't make a decision. You didn't participate in my service. You didn't watch me online. something is broken after this interest phase. Or maybe it happens earlier. I saw you pop up in my newsfeed on Facebook, or there was a sponsored ad on Twitter and I saw you come up in my timeline. I didn't go to your page and learn more. Something's broken there then. So if we can better determine where people are falling out of our funnel, we can close that leaky hole in the bucket and make sure that between them finding out that we even exist as a ministry and taking action steps towards engaging with us as a ministry in our relationship with God, then we can be better successful at keeping them and keeping them engaged.